Welcome, everyone, to episode 143 of the Chris Parrish Podcast, Center Stage. My name is Chris Parrish, but first things first, let's do what we do every episode, and that's thank everyone who is responsible for helping us out, which we got to start with Beercade YEG, the proud partner of the Chris Parrish Podcast. If you are into watching live pay-per-views like AEW All In, which, by the way, they're showing right now for free. So make sure you get to 105 4 82nd Ave in the Edmonton area to go check them out. All In going live. Do Xavier Woods or Austin Creed and Kofi make their elite debut? Are they going to be the partners of Swerve? We'll find out. And if you're in Edmonton and you want to check that out for free, go to Beercade YEG, the proud partner of the Chris Parrish Podcast. They do not only AW, they do WWE, PLEs. So you can always check out not just great live pro wrestling for free, by the way. You can enjoy a great culture, some great food. By the way, they have arcade games. It's the place to be. If you also want to check out the Turnbuckle affiliation program, you can go to turnbucklestudios.org. That's right. They are my friends. They are my affiliation. That's right. The Chris Parrish Podcast is part of that affiliation. So if you want to check out everything Turnbuckle Studios, please go and check out turnbucklestudios.org. And if you want to get some good drinks in your system, that's right. If you want to go and get energized, but you don't want the crash of an energy drink, please go and check out our friends over at W.GG. And usually one streamer only gives you one way to save some money at checkout, and I can by telling you hit Parrish 10 for 10% off at checkout. But if you also want to support Turnbuckle Studios, hit TB Studios for that same 10% off. I am gifting you two ways to save money. So now you have no reason to save some money when you're at W.GG and you want to get a little bit of extra juice in your system there. It's great. I love it. I enjoy it. So please check them out and use some codes, because I mean, if you want to save some money and then go to Turnbuckle Studios, go to our shop and buy yourself one of those Chris Parrish Podcast hoodies, you know what? That just is logical sense. But let's not. If you want to also follow me and help out the show and support everything, please go to Turnbuckle Studios, hit that host section, but you can also check out my link tree that is right there above at Chris Parrish. Those are the two best ways of supporting us and supporting myself specifically. So please, if you're there, you want to go and like, subscribe, and follow, that's great. Rate an episode, because we're also live. Or not live, we're also showing on Spotify and TikTok as well. I'm going to be releasing more short videos, as you saw just yesterday with that episode, an interview I did with Rich King. Fantastic. There will be more coming out. So let me know if that is something you like, because I'll be doing those a little bit more often. But that's enough of the boring intro. Getting all that stuff in there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We will get to AAA in a little bit, but we got a show to do right now. We're here. We're going to be revamping a little bit of the intro and outro videos for you, by the way. So please, let's just say, just stay tuned. There could be some surprises. There could be some stuff in the future coming up. So, but we're going to once again foreshadow Heatwave, as we are preparing ourselves for a Heatwave watch party on this channel later today. Just in a little bit, we will be talking a little bit of what's going on in the world of wrestling too, just breaking down a couple things from my perspective and how I kind of thought about every little thing about it. But once again, let's go back to Heatwave because we got another match added. I gave you guys my predictions last week, but since then, Callie Armstrong has been officially added to the title unification match between Ren Sinclair and Zarya. And then we also saw Jada Parker and Natty become official in a submissions match. So I feel giving those two matches a little bit of attention since we couldn't do it last week is only fair. And I want to say I really love the fact that Jada Parker's being put on this show. I know everyone much enjoys Natty. I got her book just right below, right back there. So fantastic. You can never take away what she's doing for the women's division and for the future of the women's division. But I really like Jada Parker in this match, and I say this because I think she needs it, and she's desperate for a big win here. We almost want to see her into a title, like not just the title picture, but we want to see her champion at some point, whether it's North American champion or whether it's NXT Women's Champion. There needs to be some gold around the waist of Jada Parker. She's right there. She's at the cusp of just really breaking out, but she needs something. Could this be the feud that she needs to get there? I think it could be. And who better to help out than one of the all-time greats in Natty Neidhart? So I like this, but I would be very, very taken back if Jada Parker doesn't get the win here. I know that Natty has her group side her, so it'll be interesting to see if Jada Parker gets any backup to kind of take away that help, so it's at least one-on-one. I do think the addition of Callie Armstrong in this unification match really changes shape. What I love about the addition and making this a triple threat match is that it no longer goes one-on-one. It becomes less black, white, right? There's that element of gray into this match now. Anybody can get pinned. That can come anywhere. It's not just Zarya has to beat one or Ren Sinclair or Ren beats Zarya. So that challenge now is changed because there's that different dynamic. We know that Callie Armstrong and Zarya have a lot of kind of anger towards each other because of how Callie Armstrong got into this match. So I think this opens the door for somebody like Ren Sinclair to really strategically win this match if she really wants to. But I do think the best way of going forward is looking at who needs that breakout performance, who needs that breakout moment most. I don't want to see Zarya lose a championship. I think she is just right now in a place where if she's not a champion in any way, I feel she's being left aside. Now, could I see Zarya be somebody that the main roster calls up, say by Royal Rumble? Yeah, I do. Because I don't think there's much she needs to do other than perhaps getting a repackaged kind of back into how she did debut. I like the fact that she is kind of a badass. In fact, I would love to see her almost kind of be used as that kind of counterpart to like a Raquel Rodriguez for someone. Like, I know we're beating a dead horse here, but we know that Sol Ruca and Zarya used to be an item in terms of buddy-buddy. Sol Ruca is currently going after Raquel for that Intercontinental Championship. But who's a good person to kind of combat Raquel? I think it is Zarya. And how great would that dynamic be against the Judgment Day? I know I'm beating the dead horse here because it's something we don't want to see them. We don't want to see it going back, but it does make a lot of sense to me. And I do think I could see Zarya, if she's not going to be a champion in NXT, losing the title for this to become the next step for her. And if that's the case, I do see somebody like Callie Armstrong winning the championship. Now, do I like the way she gets added the week of the show and then win? Not really, because I got invested in Zarya and Ren Sinclair. So it would kind of really take the sail or the wind out of my sail on that one, because now I don't get one of those two as a winner. Now, I understand the dynamic of what we're seeing, but I got invested in the story between Zarya and Ren Sinclair. So that's kind of the issue I face, is whether or not, if one of those two don't win, am I going to be upset? Because again, it's not a fair upset. There's nothing wrong with Callie Armstrong. It's just I wasn't gearing up for that until Tuesday. So I mean, it's very, very difficult. But let me know. We got 6 matches for Heatwave tonight. It's going to be a great show. We know we got All In going on right now, and we got AAA doing their show later today as well. What a day to be a pro wrestling fan. It's when we were getting pay-per-views, PLEs, live events all on Saturdays, and we're seeing this transformation from Sunday to Saturday, finally getting some action now on a Sunday is a little nostalgic, and it feels pretty good to have that have Sundays back in pro wrestling, because again, it's kind of nice, Speaking of Sundays, the PLE Patrol does come back Sunday with Sunday night's main event, so that is something to really look forward to. A lot of great matches there. So yeah, Sunday, September 6th, I believe, is the date for that. So yeah, please check that out. But we're going to be talking a little bit more about Heatwave. Why? Because I like NXT. It's fun. And yeah. So I am really stoked, because a lot of rumors came out this week that with WWE trademarking the Zilla Fatu name, there's a lot of reports that Zilla Fatu is going to become main roster sooner than later. But do I think Zilla Fatu stands a chance of winning tonight? I absolutely do, because you got to strike when the iron's hot. And even if it's a momentary thing, you'll look at what a quick title run could do for someone. It could elevate them even better. And how great would it be if Zilla Fatu gets called up and he's the NXT champion, and they use that to kind of platform that title? And then it'd be a great way for, somebody like a Cruz Montana or Tony D'Angelo to come up, and then boom. I mean, imagine at like a Saturday or Sunday night's main event, like one of those, we get an NXT championship match just because that story has broken out to the roster. And then boom, whoever comes out of that can go back to NXT. And we also know, like, we're now just, a day or two away from September. So that means we're only, 90 days to 100 days away from the John Cena Classic, which is going to be in probably in December. We could see maybe an NXT title match there. As we all know, John Cena in his last show, Saturday night's main event, he made it a reason to involve NXT superstars as well as younger wrestlers as well. Like we saw Leon Slater, we saw Javon Evans at that time. They were NXT or TNA. We saw that next generation of performers mix with the current and the modern main card. So that was kind of cool. So we could see something like that again for the John Cena Classic, because not everything is going to be about the crown, that champion or title that they're doing. Chris Best coming in saying, didn't Ethan Page win the NXT title after a few matches? Yeah, I believe it took him, 30 or 60 days to become champion, very quickly. And I think he holds the record for quickest NXT championship win, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't hate it either. We all saw kind of how important that made Ethan Page look in the world of NXT. So just imagine how good that makes Azilla Fatu look if he comes in. He puts his stamp on it. He doesn't come in saying, I'm going to wreck everything you had going on, but I am going to completely give it a complete shape shift. And I'm going to really turn NXT upside down and add a little bit of chaos, which is kind of nice. I mean, we've been seeing chaos kind of run NXT for the last little while. And I think the extremity of the intensity, whether it's with Zilla Fatu or even Cruz Montana, I think that has really upped the stage in NXT. And a couple months ago, we were wondering who is going to really be the face of the men's division. And now it seems like the men's division in NXT finally has an identity. When you look at, it's just not Tony D'Angelo going through an opponent. We were thinking, hey, is Naraku going to make a big kind of statement in NXT? And not really. Then we were wondering, okay, well, are we going to just see guys from the North American picture come up? And then Cruz Montana signs. And then Grayson Waller comes back. Now Zilla Fatu debuts. There's rumors we can see more names at Heatwave tonight, and that's only going to make everything better. Now we don't know if it's a man, woman, tag team, singles star. We just don't know. But now there's a little bit more element of surprise to NXT, because just in the last few months, we've been seeing that, whether it's the debuts of Cruz Montana, whether it's the return of Grayson Waller, or yes, the debut of Zilla Fatu, which, I mean, right there, you have changed your title picture in just a couple weeks, and it's been really refreshing. And now, instead of just the women's title really carrying the show, you have two titles. Both the men's and the women's main championship are running the show. And how cool was it on Tuesday to see that go home show have multiple matches at the same time in the same segment be your focal point to end the show? And you had multiple champions stand tall. It wasn't just one, it was multiple. And I think that really made the card feel more important, because it really felt like now there's multiple matches that could be your main event, or at least perceived to be your main event. And I think that is a good thing for NXT moving forward, making all matches noteworthy. And that's the beauty. We got two main title matches with Kendall Gray and Tony D'Angelo defending their titles. And then you have a title unification match. Those are pretty big matches right there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But that comes up to you, or the watch party comes to you at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So let's have some fun and let's enjoy NXT Heatwave there. But right now, we're going to take a look at what's going on within Turnbuckle Studios and the week of. We've added some new programming. It is there, but we do want to let everybody know that even though there's additional programming, if there's weekend watch parties or PLE patrols, the weekend is subject to change. But check this out.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights, we survey the scene with the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday, we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. We then come back to life with Respawn Protocol at 9:30 p.m. Thursday, we start the day off with Words with Open Mat Sessions at 12:15 p.m. Then we unleash the beast with Xbox Showcase at 9 p.m. Friday, we lay tough it down with the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. The night isn't over as we have Respawn Protocol at 10:45 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m., only to watch you jump with the Fear Reel at 10:15 p.m. On Sunday, we get wired with the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m., only to get educated with the Locker Room's Wrestling Recap at 7 p.m., completing your visit with open mat sessions at 9:15 p.m. Don't forget PLE Patrol and other watch party streams can happen at any time, so all weekend programming is subject to change. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. You can always check out all of the latest episodes on turnbucklestudios.org/shows. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and use TV Studios at checkout when visiting w.gg. Now all you have to do is tap in.
That's right, everyone. More programming coming to you. We are just absolutely crushing your free time by giving out more more programming. So let us know what you like. There's some more variety, and that's, I think, the most important thing. We'd like to offer you a little bit more variety to our channel, just so there is something there for everyone. Let us know if it's in the comments or even through emails, or even just through the DMs, stuff like that. Let us know if you would like anything specifically added or seen more often on Turnbuckle Studios. Let us know. In fact, we even have Discord, so go and check out Turnbuckle Studios on Discord and let us know there as well. Be a part of our community, and let's enjoy a better show and a better network. Now, we do know that there are multiple shows. Chris Best said, AAA is actually going on right now, which I knew. I messed that up earlier on my part. Things happen. We did find out two things during that video. I found, if by the way you're watching All In, Britt Baker has made her return to AEW. It's about time, which is very ironic. I need to go see a dentist, so just so happens that AEW's dentist came back as well. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe I just need to go and call my dentistry. But that's not here nor there. Nobody came here to listen to me about my teeth. But nonetheless, we also found out that AAA is going to Chicago. And guess what? We all know who lives in Chicago in the WWE. CM Punk. And not only is he going to be there, he's bringing back his Straight Edge Society mask. That's right. If you want to see some nostalgia, CM Punk is bringing some when AAA hits Chicago for Worlds Collide. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. It's a very interesting day because everyone's probably wondering, hey, why aren't you guys doing this? Why aren't you guys doing that? There's just a lot of wrestling today, man. There's just a lot of wrestling. I want to focus on one of the main things that I do watch. That is NXT. I do love myself some NXT. I always have, always will. I'm even somebody that enjoyed 2.0 because I like the Genesis era. I like when people start something and see what that becomes because it's fun to be a part of that journey. So I really enjoy kind of that aspect of a career. It's always fun because I say this not because it's anything more than you just never know, but my first ever live independent wrestling show, I saw an 18-year-old Kenny Omega, and I had no idea just how long later you're seeing him crushing it in the pro wrestling scenes. He's defending the AEW title against Will Ospreay at Wembley Stadium today. And I wasn't even wrestling then, and I haven't even wrestled this year. So take that for what you will. This guy's still doing it. He's still crushing it, and he's doing it in front of 40 plus thousands of people in London, England. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So you just never know. So please, if there's a pro wrestling show out there in your city, in your area, go check it out. We all know that a bunch of people inside the Turnbuckle Studios loves their CWE. they travel throughout Canada. But if you're in the States and you're watching it and there's somebody there that you're like, maybe I should check it out, do yourself a favor, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. But what went on this past week in the WWE that took my attention away? Well, first, I really, really enjoyed the fact that we're getting programming even though the situations are different. That's like, I mean by that is we know that Raw and SmackDown are being pre-taped, not only this week, but for a couple of weeks coming up. So I do enjoy the fact that we're still getting the program. Now, big thing I found out is people like to share stuff on social media. So if you're somebody that really likes to just keep things in the thing, definitely want to turn off your social media. That is the number one thing that will ruin it for you. But what's also nice to know is some stuff that do happen, and then you get to watch it and you get to experience it. Yeah, could it take away the surprise factor? Maybe, but it's still fun to watch. Like, obviously, we all knew what was going to happen on SmackDown if we read the spoilers from Monday and Tuesday night, right? Because obviously SmackDown was taped right after Raw. But what we got to see, I thought was fantastic. I mean, I was wondering what we were going to get following the Kevin Owens CM Punk title match. And I like the fact that we're not done with Kevin Owens and CM Punk, but you know that the addition of Sami Zayn in there is going to be a lot of fun. Why? Because as much as you might be tired of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and trust me, I get that, there's a level of, hey, they get to do this at least for the World Heavyweight Championship now. They get to do this for the WWE Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. That's the prize now. Think about their journey. Think about their rivalry. Think about their history, going all the way back from the independents, going to NXT. Then you saw battles for Intercontinental, United States Championships, just all these different titles. But now they finally get to do it for the world title, like the number one title in the company. Like, it's 2026. We just saw Kevin Owens come back. We saw Sami Zayn defeat Cody Rhodes to become champion. Yes, he lost it, but tell me in 2026, getting a possible CM Punk versus Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for your championship match. Tell me back in like 2012, 2013, in that independent time era where we're watching and we're really noticing how cool the independents were back then. Imagine telling yourself, yeah, and it just a little over a decade plus, that's going to be one of our main matches that we see in WWE. Pretty wild. Chris Best coming in saying, that's exactly what excites me about indie shows. So you never know which one you'll make it big. It's also why I'm excited about going to NXT in October. And then I also have a feeling we're headed to a 5-way match for the title. Well, I mean, Elimination Chamber is going to be coming up eventually. This is probably what that match is going to be. But nonetheless, that's also a nice thing too. You got Cody Rhodes going up against Randy Orton, not for the championship, and they're getting personal. This is kind of what we wanted the first time around. So how just fun and how exciting is it just to let them kind of lay into one another? Now, the big question is, we saw Cody Rhodes drop some references about in the way that Paul Heyman would. So does Paul Heyman get involved here? Could we see Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes attach themselves in some way? Could we get that Cody Rhodes heel turn that we've been kind of waiting for? I think that's something to expect. I do think we're going to see something big in this feud. And I think it's going to completely give one person the 360 in the sense of it's going to really amplify And I think that has to be Cody in this story. If it's Randy, it really doesn't seem that much, right? Like if it's Cody, at least that gives us that new layer. We haven't seen heel Cody at all in this ride, on this run in WWE. Came back at WrestleMania to go up in Seth Rollins, and since then we've never ever have seen a heel version of Cody, not a full on heel version. We're going on what, 5 years almost? It's been a while. And because I believe he came back at WrestleMania 38, if I'm not mistaken. WrestleMania 43 is what's next in terms of WrestleMania. So, and we're about, what, a half a year away from that. 4.5 years, and we haven't seen any anything like that from Cody. So I think it's just a matter of time. And I'm with it, especially if I think too, like if we know we're going to see some movement of talents from Raw and SmackDown to Raw, I think a heel Cody maybe going up against an Obafemi on Raw is refreshing. I think a heel Cody going up against a Finn Balor is refreshing. The fact that we saw Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a segment talking about, hey, you were right about Cody. It's like, I know, right? Doesn't mean we're friends. And we'll work on that. Like, it was an entertaining segment, especially one that kind of brought their history back. Because everybody, if you don't remember, it was supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania before we found out about Kevin Owens' neck. So the fact that we're getting just that tie-in, that, yeah, we don't forget what we were doing. We don't forget about, when you were here last. Like, I love the fact that just because we watch the product doesn't mean our intelligence is getting insulted. Now, that is one of my favorite aspects of watching WWE now, is we don't have that anymore. Whereas there was a time, you could watch WWE in the 90s and WWE in the 2000s or in the 2010s. They kind of pretended sometimes it didn't exist. And that's kind of what sucked about it. So that's the stuff on SmackDown that, at the very least, yeah, I'm aware of what was happening. I'm aware of, from social media, what's going on. But I still want to watch it because it's still something that, because I've watched this for so long, the stories are very, very fun for me to get invested in. So I enjoy that aspect, and I really hope everyone does too. Also, I wanted to see kind of that next chapter of the Chelsea Green stuff. Like, who doesn't love themselves some Chelsea Green women's champion right now? If there's one person who is probably the most sympathetic character in WWE right now, it's probably maybe Chad Gable on the men's, but Chelsea Green for the women's. Like, when you really look at everything they both have been doing, how can you not put those two there? Chelsea Green finally gets that moment. Oh, she breaks her orbital bone. Now, everyone erupted in that ladder match at SummerSlam. Everyone felt the emotion as she poured her heart out to Nick Aldis. Everyone's behind her. In fact, I bet that even if Rhea Ripley was to show up back now, the fans are torn because, of course, they're going to pop for "This Is My Brutality," but the story and their heartstrings are going to be very, very caught on the story of Chelsea Green. There's no denying the star power of Rhea, but right now, I think we've seen you countless times as champion. We want to enjoy this before we enjoy you again. And I think that would be fair. And if I'm going to the Chad Gable stuff, he finally won his first singles title. He went and he earned every aspect of our sympathy when he had the performance that he had as El Grande Americano in that mask versus mask match, and then understanding that you can change and you can be a better human being. You can turn the corner and you can earn an opportunity back. And everyone who he wronged when he came up with a character, he has turned that around. He has turned that relationship around. He has made amends. And now he has not only had the respect of those people, but he has the sympathy and the respect of the fans. And I think that is something to look forward to with not only Chad Gable, but now with Chelsea Green. And that's why when I watch SmackDown, I want to see what Chelsea Green does next, because I love the segment she had with Nick Aldis that turned into an impromptu match with Gunther and Matt Cardona. And then that led into a beatdown of Tiffany Stratton because Lash legend and Nia Jax got involved. And then that led into more curiosity with JC Jane defeating Tiffany Stratton, but Chelsea Green couldn't help her physically because she was hurt and she is not medically cleared. So there's just a lot of layers onto this story that just makes you emotionally invested, that just makes you care. And I love it. And I think that's why I love watching SmackDown right now. It's just a lot of fun because they're hitting on so many cylinders. And you can watch other shows for the reasons why. I watch NXT because I like to see how people start their journeys. I like to see kind of the next chapter. Obviously, like when we talk about, a Cruz Montana, we're seeing him transition from Mike Santana to Cruz Montana. So I want to see how he does that. I want to see if it's a name that changes the person or if it's a name that is changing the story. So I like seeing stuff like that. I love watching Genesis stories. Like a year and a half ago, we were just learning about Kendall Gray. Now we know how good she is and how great she's going to be in the future. The coming out party of Ren Sinclair in the last year, I think, has been fantastic. And then, just look for a guy like EK Prosper, or what they're calling him now. Like, he's going to be a player. I watch my TNA for just something completely different. Because what I love about TNA, you get all these people that you have seen somewhere else, and they're being presented almost in a way that you wish that other company did, or you're getting that new crop of talent, and it's always fun to see kind of that. And they're like, oh, it'd be great if this Joe Hendry person went to WWE. Oh, it'd be great if Leon Slater and Javon Evans had a match. And then they do it with the connection between WWE and TNA. And then you can watch AEW for something completely different. If you want to watch some of the most insane matches, you can watch that. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not saying I like WWE better than AEW because of this. I'm just saying I prefer one because it's what I enjoy. But what AEW gives you is something completely different. And it's fantastic in that own right. If it's not, they wouldn't be going in front of 40,000 people in London, England at Wembley Stadium right now, putting on a show that everyone is getting super excited for. That's just how good wrestling is right now. But what I love about everything is that even on a day like today, we're seeing people get excited for one show. We're getting a different type of people getting excited for this show. And then we're getting different people excited for this other show. And you know what? Collectively, we're all just getting excited for professional wrestling. And it's been fantastic. So in a time where we get to have a lot of fun watching pro wrestling, we then go to our content creators and we like to listen to their point of view. We like to hear their perspective. We like to hear their thoughts, their opinions. Sometimes we like to wear a shirt saying, "We like you." So if you ever wanted to help us out and maybe even become one of those creators, or even help us behind the scenes, or even if you'd like to really help us by supporting us and wearing our logos on your bodies, or even having our logos in your house with accessories, we got you covered with these two videos.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
If by chance you ever want to buy something that has the Chris Parrish Podcast logo right on there, I'd be highly appreciative of that, so much that you will get a free shout out on this show. I will also make sure, if you're okay with it, we put a picture of you and said product in a future promotional video. Because if you support us, we'd like to support you. That's just the way I like, and Turnbuckle Studios likes to operate. So, I don't remember the movie, but let us help us help you. Just makes sense. But yeah, we will be having a shorter show today, simply because we'll be coming back for that Heat Wave watch party coming up. So please don't get away for too long. We do have the Heat Wave watch party coming up right there, actually. Obviously today, August 30th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Heat Wave watch party right there for everyone. Please check that out. Next week, though, we are coming back to you with episode 144. And we are going to go one small step, one giant leap. Now you may be wondering, why? Just why? Well, one of my favorite matches, Money in the Bank, it's coming back. It's going into a place that homes my favorite football team in New Orleans. So, how about we talk some Money in the Bank? We know that qualifying matches are going to start soon. So, let's have some fun and let's start talking about not just Money in the Bank, but who. Let's break down some people who we think makes a lot of sense. And it's not just, we want to see them world champion kind of things, but let's break down why we'd like to see certain people in Money in the Bank. Because again, the Money in the Bank, it's different from a Royal Rumble. Just like it's different from a King and Queen of the Ring. So, in that way, let's have a little bit of fun next week talking about that. But I do want to open it up. If anybody has anything from the shows that they're watching now and they want to talk about that, whether it's the return to AEW about Britt Baker, or it's CM Punk dropping the bombshell that he's coming to Worlds Collide in Chicago and he's bringing back the Straight Edge Society mask, which is going to be a lot of fun about. Or you want to talk about something heat wave related, or you want to talk something about Sunday night's main event, let me know. Which, by the way, we will definitely be breaking down some Sunday night's main event next week as well. So I will be saying that. So maybe I'll just stay away from Sunday night's main event today so I can focus more about it next week. But let me know in the comments what is going on that is catching your eyes from today, because let's attack it in real time. But once again, I do want to let everybody know that we are live on, or we are active on Discord. So if you want to check out Turnbuckle Studios on Discord, in the comments right there, that is where you can go. And it's fun. We want to help grow that platform, and we want to be a little bit better with the community. We want to invite more people in. There's even some potential plans on doing some watch alongs within a Discord channel. So that is something that could be happening in the future. So yeah, we not only want to watch wrestling and enjoy it, we want to watch it together. So let's have some fun there. That's why why our Discord is something that we have decided to take that approach with. And then again, one last time, turnbucklestudios.org. That is the web page for Turnbuckle Studios. You can go and do so much there. In fact, we made it so easy that we have clickable icons on all three major platforms that we stream on, whether it's Kick, Twitch, or YouTube. It's right there on the first page. All you have to do is hit the icon, and you can then watch Turnbuckle Studios right then and there. So that's very easy. We have everything on just a click of a button, whether it's shop, whether it's follow, whether it's finding out the latest episodic shows, which I think is really cool. If you missed a show and you don't know where to go, or you don't know the handle, Turnbuckle Studios, right there, clicks, you hit episodes, boom, you click the show you want to watch, and you're watching it right then and there. How easy is that? I think it's very easy. So I think we're gonna do something that we normally don't do, and that's really ring for that bell a little bit earlier than we normally do. So I just want to say thank you for coming in, stopping by. This was more of a lead up to the Heatwave watch party, so going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you in a little bit with that. So in that time, I'm going to say this has been episode 143 of the Chris Parrish Podcast, Center Stage. I am very much happy for everyone who has decided to take the time, hang out here. We will be rating out on both platforms, so just hold on if you can. If you still want to put in last minute comments, that is something we can do, and we'll even discuss that if the topic is something we can do. But for the meantime, I do want to let everybody know I appreciate everything that you guys do. It is a lot of fun. We'll be streaming out to probably I think if you have any preferences of who to stream to or who to raid to, let me know. You know what? I'm going to raid to some good old friends over at Love Wrestling. So let's do that. I believe we have a show going on there. So yes, we'll be raiding out there on the Twitch side. Let everybody know that the Chris Parrish Podcast sent you to Love Wrestling. So between now and the watch party, and then next week, whatever show you want to watch, I just want to say thank you. Be happy, be healthy, because at the end of the day, you matter.